Hi everyone, welcome back. Dr. L here, and this is True Purpose Health. So in the last video, we kind of hinted at some flaws in our healthcare system. So today we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about that. Now, before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can get notifications on the latest updates for our newest videos, because we're going to have some very, very good information coming out. And I definitely don't want you to miss that. So back to the healthcare system. Now, I just want to make it perfectly clear that I am not against our healthcare system. I am not against prescription drugs. I am not against surgery. I am not against our entire healthcare system. Okay, it absolutely has a purpose and it's much needed. However, what I am against is the way that it's unfortunately being misused. It is absolutely being misused. And it's leading to a lot of people not achieving the health and potential that they absolutely can. So let me explain a little bit about this. Our current healthcare system is designed to be reactive. It's designed to kick in whenever we lose our health or whenever we get sick, whenever we have some kind of problem or injury, much like car insurance. So car insurance only really kicks in when you have an accident, when you're in a wreck. Car insurance doesn't typically kick in to fill your car up with gas or get an oil change as much as you'd like that, as much as I'd like that. So that's kind of a similarity with our healthcare system. It's really only designed to react to something that's wrong. And there's very, very little in terms of education, in terms of prevention. Now, some of you might argue that, well, I have my yearly physical where, we're kind of checking things and making sure that everything is okay. Well, yes and no. That's what we're told that those visits are for, but all those visits are for checking to see if anything is wrong. Because very rarely do we get valuable information on what we can do to continue to improve our health. If you go into one of those visits and your doctor says, hey, everything looks good, that's kind of where it ends, right? They don't give you any recommendations on, oh, you got to make sure that you're doing X, Y, and Z so that you can keep improving your health, right? Most of the time what ends up happening is like, oh, we found this thing in one of our scans, or your blood work came back with this kind of result, so we're going to want to make sure that we do this. And that's okay. But again, it's not going to lead to improving our health. It actually leads to a dependency on our healthcare system, and a dependency that unfortunately a lot of people are struggling with. Perfect example is some medications. Now, I said before, medications absolutely have their place and they're absolutely needed. For example, if you're in a car accident or if you have some kind of traumatic injury, and you get sent to the emergency room, they're going to use whatever medication is needed in order to keep you alive, right? To make sure that you don't die. Very, very important. However, some of those medications are then being used long-term, and they're not really designed to be used long-term. Perfect example is high blood pressure medication. Now, high blood pressure medication is designed to make sure that your blood pressure doesn't get too high. If your blood pressure gets too high, you can suffer a catastrophic event where you can die. So we want to make sure that blood pressure gets low. Now, in order to keep your blood pressure low, other things are needed, right? But we're all told that we need to take this high blood pressure medication. Now, that medication, unfortunately, doesn't solve the problem. It ends up masking the problem. And by masking that problem, we think that we're okay, but the truth is that we're not okay, because if we remove that medication from our daily routine, well, that high blood pressure comes right back up. And so that's not a real solution, unfortunately. And the vast majority of where we get this information comes from two main sources. And those two main sources are pharmaceutical companies and our insurance companies. And that information is designed to keep us taking a product. Right? Taking a product that the pharmaceutical companies are creating and profiting off of wildly so that we stay customers, right? We're customers for life for those pharmaceutical companies. And the insurance companies agree to cover some of the cost of those pharmaceutical drugs, because that continues to make money for the pharmaceutical industry, and then in turn the insurance companies make money as well. So it's a nice little, I guess you could call it, monopoly that those two organizations have, and they have a stranglehold over our healthcare system. And unfortunately, I really refer to that as more of the sick care system or the disease management model. And I know a lot of people would prefer to not be sick, or prefer to not have high blood pressure, or not have high cholesterol, or not have thyroid issues, or anything along those lines, right? So the best source of action is to actually be on the preventative side, not on the reactive side. So that's what brings me here. That's what my practice is all about. That's what my education is all about. It's about being preventative so that we don't have to deal with any kind of problems down the road, but instead what we end up having is we benefit, right? Our health grows. We grow stronger every day instead of weaker, and we can continue to do the things that we love, right? We can go on vacations with our family, right? We can travel and see the world. We can play with our kids or our grandkids, or play sports, whatever kind of physical activity that you enjoy doing. It's important that you're physically able to do it, as well as making sure that nothing detrimental is happening. Now, some people might say, well, you know what, I don't care about doing some of those things, and that's totally fine. I'm all about the specific and the individual. Now, some of the information that I'm going to give is very generalized, and it does work for everyone, but a lot of this information needs to be focused down and specified for the individual. The only way that you can actually truly get healthy and maintain your health and continue to actually grow your health is if you have a specific plan that's designed for you, a unique plan. Now, that's also a big reason why our current healthcare system doesn't work so well, because it's a very cookie cutter protocol, right? There's a drug or a procedure or something along those lines that we're told is good for everyone. And as we just said, every individual is different. Let's take, for example, diet plans. Now, I know a lot of people have gone on diets, and there's a million diet plans out there. And every diet plan is going to say that this is the best diet plan. For example, and I'm not bashing on any specific diet plan, but for example, the keto diet plan. Oh, you should be on keto because it's going to lower your inflammation and your immune system's going to get boosted, and all those things are going to take place. You're going to lose weight, you're going to feel great. Awesome. Now, while that is true, is that true for everyone? And unfortunately, the answer there is no, because some people can stay on that diet for the rest of their lives and they have no problems. Other people can't stay on that diet for the rest of their lives. So they might see some of the benefits short term, but then they fall off the diet and then they go right back to where they were. Same thing for keto, paleo, you name it, Atkins. All of those diet plans are not really specified to the individual, and that's the big thing that I focus on. Now, like I said, I'll give in these videos, I'll give some very generalized information, in terms of like how much protein you should be eating, how much vegetables you should be eating, and those sorts of things. But again, those are very generalized, so take those with a grain of salt. While we all know everyone should be eating vegetables, everyone should have some kind of protein source, the specifics in terms of what you need as an individual are going to vary. So if you're interested in kind of taking a new step towards improving your health and maybe getting a specific plan, feel free to reach out. I'm here as a resource. You can leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll make sure that I respond to you and I get back to you. And if you're here just for the information, then fantastic. We're gonna help guide you on your journey towards improving your health and ultimately improving your life. All right. Well, I hope you guys got a lot of good information, a little bit of an eye-opener in this video, and I will see you guys in the next.